following podcast is brought to you by patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca. Like what you hear? Want more of it ad-free, uncensored, and earlier? Sign up today at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca and start getting more for as little as $2 a month.
Welcome to We Have Till 5, part of WrestleMedia, where everything is wrestling and wrestling is everything. I, of course, am your host, Andrew Kent. With me is Cole Miller, the new co-host of We Have Till 5, just in case you missed it next week. Cole, say hi to everyone.
Hi there, and it was last week. You can't miss next week.
Did I say next week?
Yeah, in case you missed it next week.
I'm not good at this hosting thing. I'm still learning. I'm normally the guy sitting on the side, and I have no idea what's going on.
The only way you'll learn is if I call you out on it. That's my job here.
I really hate this new dynamic that we have on We
You
Have
asked
Till 5.
me.
Cole, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you doing all right? You hanging in there, having a nice summer? How's life in Toronto?
It's busy.
Busy.
Went for a walk today.
Walk.
That's
really good podcast content there.
Yeah, it was a great walk.
I went for a walk today.
It was Pedestrian Sunday in Kensington Market, if you have to know.
What does that mean?
They shut down the roads to cars and it's just full of people, but it was so busy. Just could barely move at some parts, but it was good.
See, here's what's dumb. I've been in Kensington Market a couple times with you now. Always kind of feels like Pedestrian Sunday, and it always kind of feels like there's about 100,000 people there. So
I
can't quite get behind that. I don't know. Whatever.
There were like street performers there, and the restaurants had all the stuff outside. It's cool. I mean, you'll have to come down for one.
The Cubano was pretty serious the other day.
Oh yeah.
Shout them out just in case they'll give us money. Go ahead, Cole. Tell us all about them.
Oh yeah, if any of our listeners are ever in Kensington Market in downtown Toronto, you have to go to San Cosme. Wonderful restaurant. All of their ingredients are local.
Okay, whoa. Don't push them too much. They're not paying us yet, pal.
Well, okay. You know what? I'll send this their way, drop it on their doorstep, and see if they want to be a sponsor.
We'll get them a t-shirt if they want to sponsor, I promise. I got some. I'll give them personally my t-shirt if that. But I'm sure Adam will get off his wallet for a t-shirt for a nice sponsor like that. Speaking of sponsors, you can catch us over at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca if you want to kind of help fund this dream. Before this show, Cole and I talked a little bit about the importance of AEW and what we thought of Double or Nothing. On the show before the show, we have some time. The only way that you could possibly get that one is to give a couple ducats into the bucket over at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca. We have a dream. That sounds really pandering. It sounds kind of like Martin Luther King Jr. and
you're not allowed to use that phrase.
I'm not allowed to use that. But anyways, we do have a dream. That's just, I don't know what else to say. We have a dream. Adam has a dream. Adam Conta has a dream for this network, and you can help us achieve that dream by heading over to our Patreon and just putting a couple bucks. If you're an advertiser, we got some tiers for you there where you can get some advertising space on our network. You get extra content over there. You get videos and blogs. You get all sorts of good stuff. Oh, just for a couple bucks over there at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca. So head on over there after you listen to the podcast, because don't stop. That sounds silly.
Don't leave now. It's just about to get good.
Help us achieve our dream. We also have our website, WrestleMedia.ca, where there's lots of great content up there. Host blogs, host bios, and all sorts of great stuff. Please sign up for our newsletter so you can see where we are. We are on a bit of a summer tour here in Canada, Cole. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
You did not know that? What is it, your second week on the network or something?
Yeah, I didn't. I apparently missed my orientation day. What is this?
We are, of course, going to be at Chinlock Wrestling 5 on June 15th. We are so excited about that. Cole, do you know who I get to meet at Chinlock 5, the Legends Convention, following the day before the event? Do you actually not know?
No, I haven't looked this up.
Bro, I get to meet Bret Hart.
Are you going to bring your belt?
No, he's already signed by Bret Hart. I'm going to bring my face.
Yeah, but
you can sign my face.
Yeah.
Cole, also gonna be there, dude. I can't believe I actually get to share this with you. I am genuinely this excited that I get to share this with you. So the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard are gonna be there. Mark Henry, Billy Gunn, Tommy Dreamer. There's all sorts of great guys gonna be. I know I forgot some. Please do not at me. I'm bad at this. I'm still learning. I'm just plugging a little bit. Give me a break. But we are on a summer tour, and the best place to see where we're gonna be is at WrestleMedia.ca. Sign up for our newsletter, and we'll hit you up in the email, and we'll get lots of good stuff. All right, I think I shilled enough. I'm not nearly as good at it as Adam, but I feel like I'm doing okay. Cole, tell us what we're talking about this week, because I know it's my list, but I've talked enough, so you got to tell them what we're talking about.
We are talking about the top 5 worst main event promos. Now, this isn't, from what I understand, it's not specific promos. It's just who is really bad on the mic.
Yes, but still was able to transcend into the main event of either WWE, WCW. I kind of kept it in that realm. I'm sure there's lots of people on the indies who are not tremendous on the mic, but I kept it pretty much to the big two. ECW as well thrown in there. Although I don't think there's any ECW guys that sort of made my list, but yeah, that's what we're talking about this week. We're talking, best promos, by bad people.
No? No? Oh,
No.
Is that can be another week's topic.
That's pretty funny. I might be inspired by that one too. Cole, who do you think is the worst promo in WWE right now?
Right now? Well, I guess all the people who I really don't like aren't really with the company anymore. Ronda Rousey's at the top of my list.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, she cut some pretty sweet heel promos nearing WrestleMania.
Yeah, only when she was like sitting on her couch getting her hair braided.
My gosh. You know what? The best part about having you on this network, pal, is that honestly, you're going to be the Smark fan pretty soon. People are going to realize how freaking smarky you are, and it's going to be awesome. It's not going to be me anymore. I'm not going to catch any more crap. It's going to be unbelievable. I think Ronda Rousey, when she was the smiling babyface, was garbage.
But
because that's not who she is.
When she tried to turn heel right away, she would still just like break out smiling because she actually doesn't know how to control her emotions, and it just ruined everything.
I don't know. I think you're being a little bit hard on her. Who do I think is the worst promo? Who else?
Jinder
Anybody
Mahal.
else
Jinder Mahal's up there, but
he
doesn't count.
Whoa!
I am hindering the Jinder.
Whoa, Adam!
Sorry, Adam.
Adam is going to kick you off of this network, dude. It's your last day. We at WrestleMedia do not hinder the Jinder.
Oh,
bye,
guys.
I'm going to hinder the Jinder too. You're right.
How about you? Who's worst in the company right now?
Oh, man. Worst in the company on the mic. Oh, gosh. You know what? For everything that I like about him, I don't love Matt Riddle on the mic at all right now.
He's so annoying.
And it's not even the
bro.
It's not the bro, because that's his gimmick. But everything else he says just sounds fake. It sounds forced. I'm working on understanding him a little bit better. But yeah, Matt Riddle's up there for me. And okay. It's going to sound like I'm hating on Roman Reigns.
Which you are.
But I know it's not totally his fault. But man, do his promos come off as crappy?
Yeah.
No, that's on the writing, and that's on the making him say everything that...
What? You don't like Suffering Succotash?
No, it's pretty bad. No, it's pretty bad.
Yep.
Those are the two that come to mind. AJ Styles, I think, has become a better promo over the last couple years.
Nakamura has really faltered.
But I mean... To be fair, I couldn't count anybody like that because the guy is like really, English is not anywhere near his first language.
Yeah, true.
Now, they're not that I think that that's totally because I might get called a bit of a hypocrite for saying that for one of my entries on this list. But what I mean by that is that the guy still really struggles with English.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But the guy, but it's tough. His promos need some work in English, but his promos were freaking hype in Japanese.
Yeah.
That's why I can't count a guy like that.
I would also put Brock Lesnar on this list, because technically he doesn't cut promos. Paul Heyman does.
I thought about including him, and he was going to be like an honorable mention for sure, so thanks for sort of stealing my thunder here, bud. But
cool.
No, we'll get Brock Lesnar out of the way. Brock Lesnar is not on this list. But it's only because I just don't think he even if he could cut a promo, I don't think he has to. His gimmick is way better, him being the silent demon, the silent beast who just destroys and kills everybody.
Especially because, have you heard him talk?
He does have a pretty annoying voice.
He has, like, the most obnoxious, high-pitched voice, which just doesn't fit what he looks like.
Totally agree. Kind of like David Beckham. David Beckham is like, everybody's like, oh, he's so cute, he's so hot. Man, that guy is the most nasally voiced of all time.
Is that what Riley says?
No, not Riley. Riley only likes my voice.
Oh.
For those of you who don't know, Riley is my wife, and she's great. She's awesome, and I love her. She can probably hear me talking right now, so that's not why I'm saying what I'm saying, but it certainly gives me some bonus points. All right, so let's hop right into it. I'll start with number 5. The best possible start to this has to be the guy who said probably wasn't going to be on the list. The bottom line is Bret Hart deserves to be on this list. But I'm going to put him at number 5 because I genuinely think that he gets a lot of flack for being a tough promo when really he just I think he's better than he gets credit for. I don't know how many Bret promos you've ever heard, but Adam and I have talked a lot on this show about back in 1994 when Bret and Owen were feuding. There was the one promo that he cut, and he finally agrees to fight his brother. For months, he refused to fight his brother. Just as that's always what happens in WWE, because apparently, if you listen to Pritchard's podcast, brothers don't fight, pal. That's what Vince used to say all the time. So I don't know where he got that information, because I think I've only ever fought with my brothers. That's
Is there any other form of brotherly relationship?
That's who I fight with. I don't know, but he cuts this promo and he finally agrees to fight his brother, and he goes, he wants a fight. I'll give him a fight. I'll give him a damn good fight. Like, Bret's not a bad promo. He's just he came along in an era of Macho Mans and Hogan's and Piper's and Ric Flair's. You know, he came along.
So his style was just old.
It just, well, no.
It didn't fit?
It's that he wasn't over the top, and he didn't shout everything. He wasn't a great promo. But I always felt like Bret was really genuine in what he had to say. I always felt like Bret really spoke from the heart. I always felt as though everything that he was doing actually meant something, as opposed to just, well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Ooh, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna get him, let me tell you. Oh, yeah. You know, like, it's just, Bret actually had something to say in his promos, and it didn't sound like everybody else, so he gets a bad rap. So that's my honest opinion. I think Bret Hart has a bit of a bad rap, but he still deserves to be on this list because most guys who ascend to the main event have some pretty decent promo skills.
Yeah.
You know any, like, what do you feel about Bret Hart? Like, I know we've watched a little bit. You probably went back today and watched a little bit. Like, where do you sort of land on that?
I haven't really paid much attention to his promos. Like, I don't know. The only one that really comes to mind is Montreal, but that was just pure emotion, so it doesn't really count. I don't know. He just seemed.
He stumbles over his words.
Yeah. Kind of like I'm doing right now.
Well, yeah, okay, but like he does not stumble over his words half as much as the guy I'm about to talk about, and I really hope that you've seen a couple of this guy's promos so that we can...
Before you do that...
Fine, go on to Bret Hart, keep going.
No, I'm going to ask a question that I'm going to ask for every single person you bring up. Despite their promos being so bad, what enabled them to go to the main event?
Bret Hart, there was a couple factors. There's nobody who could wrestle like Bret Hart when he was coming up like that. There's nobody.
Yeah.
There was a couple great wrestlers, don't get, in the WWF, I should say in the WWF, nobody wrestled like Bret Hart. And he came along, he ascended to the top during the steroid trial when it was favorable to the WWE to have a guy that looked like Bret Hart and didn't look like the Ultimate Warrior or Hulk Hogan or Paul Orndorff or any of those guys who were definitely on the gas. He came along at a time like that. So Bret Hart made it on wrestling ability, and he certainly was a beneficiary of the steroid trial. I don't think there's any way around it. Mr. Perfect didn't get to be champion. Rick Rude didn't get to be champion. It's just, I think Bret Hart came along at the right time. And he got a little bit lucky, just a touch. But he was also the best wrestler in the company. I think that's what sort of transcended him beyond his ability to cut a promo.
Okay.
So, number 4 is Scott Steiner. Tell me you've seen some Scott Steiner promos.
I'm surprised he's this low on the list.
Well, there's a couple of guys I really think, because the reason why I had to put Steiner here, and I waffled back and forth about whether Steiner was going to be 5 or Bret Hart, because I just like Bret's promos better, so I am a little bit biased. Scott Steiner at least cut a good quote-unquote wrestling promo. Boy, could that guy shout.
Yeah.
Boy, could that guy say a bunch of catchphrases. Boy, could that... The problem was, he could barely ever say anything that made sense. Now, I'm not talking about his math promo. His math promo from TNA that everybody's seen, I think it's a joke. It's supposed to be. It's
that can't be serious.
No, it can't be. And if it is, oh my goodness. But there's so many times where he just like stumbles over his words. He can't get it out. It's horrible. It's just embarrassing to watch a Scott Steiner promo. And all he does is shout. All he does is scream. All he does is talk about his freaks. All he does is talk about big bad booty daddy. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I might catch heat for having Steiner on this. I'm not totally sure, but he is bad.
I pulled up a compilation of his today, and it was like 30 minutes long. And it was just him screaming obscenities. Like, I'm like, how... He would not be allowed on television. The things that he was saying, I'm like, this is
even for the era, it was like,
oh yeah,
bro. Especially since WCW really did try to be less of a raunchy product. They really did. When the WWE went full, Sable coming out with paint over her breasts, and they were doing mud wrestling and they were doing stuff like that where women really just became objects, and Val Venus was a porn star, and they were, all the girls were getting into Playboy and stuff like that. WCW did make a conscious effort to be a little less controversial. But man, did Scott Steiner ever not sign that in his contract.
No. It was like, at some point, it was like borderline hate speech, it seemed.
Oh yeah, he said some things against Booker T that I don't think Triple H would have said heading into WrestleMania 19, and that's saying something.
It was. I had to turn it off after a bit because I'm like, oh no, he said that? How do you say that?
And then you wonder why he was so over though. He was so over. People loved him, and to this day, I don't get it. Like, I've never been a big Papa Pump fan. I like the Steiners. I like when he was a tag team wrestler. I have very little to say about him as a single wrestler, especially since I saw him at, like, basically as a wounded puppy in WWE when he came in 2000, must have been 2002, 2003.
The one thing I'll say is that when he was swearing, he was not stumbling.
Those
words came out very clear.
He really knew how to swear, Cole. He was an unbelievable swearer.
It's like a backwards version of the King's Speech. Like, the only time he doesn't stutter.
That's so good. I love that. That's amazing. Hey, this is a commercial for patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca, where you can get early access to episodes of your favorite WrestleMedia shows, get full uncut and uncensored versions of your favorite shows, and more. Don't want to hear this commercial on your podcast anymore? Sign up at our main event tier and get these episodes ad-free. Want to hear your own commercial here instead of ours? We've got tiers for that too. Visit patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca and join the WrestleMedia revolution today.
So what? Go ahead.
Yeah, what allowed him to become a main event person despite being the individual that he is?
Very diplomatic.
Yeah.
I think physique had a lot to do with it. I think his last name had a lot to do with it. The Steiners were an institution in the 80s. An institution. They were something else. They were something to behold. And I honestly, again, kind of like Bret Hart, I think he just was a beneficiary of sort of, there was nobody left in WCW at that point. When he sort of ascended the mountain and went solo and became the champion, the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, there wasn't many people left that the fans cared about. Hulk Hogan was basically gone. Kevin Nash was, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and all of the guys were old and they were broken down at that point, and everybody was jumping ship to WWE.
Yeah.
Chris Benoit was gone. Eddie Guerrero was gone. Chris Jericho was gone. Dean Malenko was gone. Perry Saturn was gone. All of these guys were gone. And I think he's a little bit of a beneficiary of circumstance. I think everybody jumped ship. All the old guard was gone. And he looked the way he looked, and the fans did like him. I mean, the bottom line is he was over. I don't really get it, but he was over. So I don't know exactly maybe the fans just like to watch a good dumpster fire.
I don't know. It was also not that the things that he said were ever okay to say, but it was at a time when it was a little like, if anybody said those things, doesn't matter what rating the program is, they would be cut off. Like, the homophobic slurs that came out of his mouth.
Yep.
But like, it was at a time where I don't want to say it was okay to say those things, but
well, I mean, let's face it. Not that it was ever okay, but it certainly was okay. Like, I hope our listeners kind of understand what that means. I mean, we've talked about it here on the network. Things that we've gone on record to say, like, listen, like the way that we used to talk in the mid '90s and the early 2000s was wrong. I don't agree with that speech, but the bottom line is, it was okay back then.
It was the norm. It was not okay. It was the norm.
That's a great way to put it. It was the norm, and it was socially acceptable, but it was not okay. Scott Steiner does not age well. And I'm not just talking about his leathery skin. So we're gonna. Oh, that's good. I'm sorry.
That is the last sentence, and time to move on to the next one. We're ending with leathery skin.
All right, that's our episode for this week. Have a great day. Number three is, honestly, I had to kind of like stop the time on this one. Like, I kind of had to, because this guy got a lot better.
Okay.
But whenever I go back and I watch an old WCW from 96, 97, I actually have to skip this guy's promos, or at the very least, I have to not look at him while he delivers them. It's the Giant. And now, just in case you don't know, Cole, that is the Big Show.
Oh, okay.
So the Big Show when he was in WCW was just the Giant. That's who he was. He wore Andre the Giant type clothes, and he sort of looked exactly like that. And the reason why I had to put this guy is because it was awful to watch. So not only did he just sort of shout everything the way that everybody did in WCW, but he also would just do this thing where he would take this big breath in and his mouth would always contort. As soon as we're done, and any listeners, pause the episode right now and just go Google the Giant promo 96, and just watch when he takes his big breath in. His lips actually contort, and he does it every 10 or 15 seconds for his whole 5-minute promo, and I can't do it. So this is a very short entry, and it's certainly more here because it's a pet peeve. I don't really have anything else to say. All I know is that this guy had to be retrained how to give a promo. I forget which book I read it in or which podcast I heard it on. It might even been something to wrestle. Just that when Paul White came into the WWE, they had to get out of that Hulk Hogan screaming everything promo, that Ric Flair style promo, because the WWE wasn't doing promos like that in the 90s and in the 2000s when he came into the company. They weren't doing it like that. So to have him just screaming everything like Ric Flair, Rick got away with it, and Hulk Hogan got away with it. People got away with it, and I'm not crapping all over that style of promo. The Giant sucked at it, and it was hard to watch. Mm-hmm. So, what transcended this guy to the main event? He was 7'2".
Purely his size?
He was 7'2", and he was buddies with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan took him under his wing and allowed him to become the champion, and he was gigantic. He was huge, and he had a pretty cool choke slam. Like that. Now,
I mean, any choke slam looks good when it's from that high in the air.
Sure. Yeah, totally. I completely agree with you. So, I mean, that's a pretty short one. I don't really have a lot else to say. I might catch some flack for that one, just because it is mostly a pet peeve. But I implore you guys to try to go and watch a Giant promo compilation from 1996 and not want to shoot yourself in the brain by the end of it. It's so annoying. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. That was insensitive. But yeah, awful to watch. Awful to watch.
Real struggle.
Real struggle. Number 2 is a guy who I don't know if it's just I don't like it. I have never been a fan of Rey Mysterio's promos ever. I think Rey Mysterio is just about one of the worst talkers in wrestling history. Did you listen to any Rey Mysterio promos?
I tried watching some, and it was...
Are we on the same page on that, or what?
Well, it seemed like most of them were dominated by the other person. Like, he just kind of stood there and had a dumb look on his face. And he has a really strange voice. And he just
does have a strange voice.
And he just kind of, talked. Like, there was no emotion or... I don't know, it's like he was reading a script for it, and that's all he was able to get out.
No, I completely agree. It's I don't know why he never improved over the years and why it stayed as I just found him bland. He's just bland. Like it's the whitest bread promo. Well, it's the second whitest bread promo of all time, and everybody knows who's number 1. It's not even a secret. He was the inspiration for the list. But I didn't get to talk about it last week. But anyways, it's just the boringest, he's just this white meat baby face. He's just I will win. I will always win. I will come from behind and I will win.
But Dominic is my son.
Yeah, Dominic is my... It sounds like a B actor every time. Now, it didn't help him that he was always in there with some sort of giant.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not talking physically. I mean some Mike Giant, like Eddie Guerrero, like Chris Jericho, like CM Punk. These guys, because those are the promos that make it to these main event situations, right? Rey Mysterio was just always outmatched by whoever he was on the mic. And I think he sounded cheap. I think he sounded lame. And I don't think he got any better. So, luckily, he is the greatest cruiserweight of all time. He transcended an entire genre of wrestling. How did that guy make it to the main event? Nobody doesn't like Rey Mysterio. That's how. He's psychotic, and the stuff that he could do in the 90s was unbelievable. And even the stuff that he can do today is unbelievable. He's in better shape than I think he was in 1996. But the guy just can't cut a promo to save his life.
Well, good thing he can jump off of the top rope.
Yeah. Well, and he's got great psychology.
Yeah.
He's got great psychology. He knows when to sell. Like, the matches are... Tony Schiavone on What Happened When always gives the cruiserweights crap for being spot fest. And I couldn't disagree more. I think there was so much psychology going on in those matches, and I think Rey Mysterio's psychosis and all those guys were doing stuff. Again, people don't like it, I guess. The old school wrestlers, like old school wrestling fans like Tony Schiavone didn't like it, and they found it just to be spotty.
They're just jealous because they couldn't do it. Like, I think
maybe.
that's a big part of it. It's like, this isn't what we did in the old day. We used to, like, be boring.
We used to put each other in headlocks for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
What a freaking rush.
Yeah. That's why Vader called out Zack Sabre Jr. because he's like, that's not wrestling.
Yeah. Now, I'm still trying to get Zack Sabre Jr., just to be fair. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But whatever. And I'm a technical wrestling fan. Like, that's what it's like. I'm supposed to like Zack Sabre Jr., and I don't get it. Although he did have a good match at was he at the G1, or am I thinking of a Wrestle Kingdom?
He's probably at both.
Yeah, I can't remember. He had a good match at one of those two cards. I can't remember who it was against, but I remember being like, okay, I'm kind of getting it a little bit more now. But when he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, didn't get it. Anyways, we're not here to talk about Zack Sabre Jr. We're here to talk about the worst main event promos of all time, and I can't think of anybody better to be number one than Jeff Hardy, the guy who inspired this whole list. That guy, oh my gosh, I watched all his promos from his 2009 feud with CM Punk. Holy crap, was he outmatched. Now, the average person's going to be outmatched when they're in there with CM Punk. It is what it is. You know, CM Punk is one of the best promos in wrestling history, and certainly one of the best in modern wrestling history, if not the best mic guy in modern wrestling history. I know I'm a bit of a mark for CM Punk. I don't care. I think he's awesome, and I'll fight you on the moon if you say anything different. Man, I miss that. I'm gonna bring Fight You to the Moon, You on the Moon back to this show. Oh yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna fight people on the moon.
I don't want to go to the moon.
Why? It's a great place up there.
Well, because we've never been there to begin with. Kidding. Sorry. Kidding.
Whoa!
Not going there. This isn't Talk is Jericho. I'm not talking about conspiracy theories.
This is awkward.
So, Jeff Hardy.
What? I still don't know if you're kidding, and I don't have time to get into it. So I'll talk
100% kidding. So we're moving on. Never to talk of this again.
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Okay, try to refocus here. This podcast is going like a Jeff Hardy promo right now. It's
but we somehow
awkward.
Have more emotion.
We at least are emoting, and we seem happy, or we seem upset, or we seem like it's awkward. We're actually doing something with our emotions. And Jeff Hardy, I think he's a cyborg.
Well, his matches don't help because normal humans shouldn't do those things.
Yep. Well, shouldn't I think is a good way to put that, because they sure can. But they really shouldn't. I can't believe Jeff Hardy's. Honestly, of all the people who are retired from that 6-man, from that triple threat ladder match from WrestleMania 2000 and 17 to follow, the two people I didn't expect to be still wrestling were Matt and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Edge is done. Christian's done. Devon's done. Bubba's still going, but he's mostly just doing hardcore street fights and stuff.
It's
he's
super weird.
Yeah. But Bubba Ray Dudley and the Hardy Boys are the three people still wrestling. And you can now this is no disrespect to Bully Ray at all. I certainly don't want him coming after me.
No,
I'm terrified of that man.
Sorry, Bully Ray.
But Matt and Jeff are still wrestling.
Yeah.
Bully's doing a little bit more of the ECW stuff, and hey, good for him. That's awesome. I'm not criticizing, but he's not going out there having wrestling matches the way that the Hardy Boys. They were tag champs. They were still wrestling, a full schedule and stuff like that. So
no, he's going out and punching Enzo Amore in the face.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I would love to punch Enzo Amore in the face.
I know, that was the one time in my life I've been jealous of it.
One of my lists are definitely going to be 5 wrestlers I want to punch in the face.
and all 5 are Enzo Amore.
See, this is why I asked you to do the show with me. You're right in my old skull. Every single one of them is going to be Enzo Amore. Oh, shoot, that guy sucks. I don't even care.
Okay, we're not talking about him anymore.
I do mean disrespect
That's another
to you,
list.
Enzo Amore. If you ever listen to this, come find me.
I can see him coming up in the future,
Ontario.
but
unbelievable. Anyways, back to Jeff Hardy. We've gotten off on a real tangent
to Jeff
here.
Hardy.
He's a freaking robot. He can barely talk.
Yeah.
What was that? Sorry, I lost you there.
I was just going to ask, is the only reason that he actually made it because he does stupid things?
I think that he was willing to do things to his body that people hadn't seen since Mick Foley. I think that he was good looking. I think that he had pretty good matches, and he sold well, and he was in the ring. He was great. He got heat. He was able to. He was a sympathetic babyface. Everybody wanted to see him succeed, and he was really, really, really over. And he did that weird fist bumping, sort of humping the air thing when he came out to the ring, which was
dancing, Andrew.
I know you don't know what dancing.
It is. But
that is not dancing. I am a freaking dancing machine, and I would never dance like that.
Oh, I want to see it though. Strangely,
you will, buddy. You will.
I feel like this is going to have to be a bet one of these times. Whoever loses does the Jeff Hardy dance.
I already did the stupid beaver cleavage video that you can watch over at WrestleMedia.ca, so nothing worse. Nothing is going to be worse in my whole life than that, except for maybe listening to an episode of Lasting Mark.
You have to watch every single Enzo Amore match.
Oh my gosh, that is the worst. I would literally rather put hot pokers in my eyes.
Wow.
Anyways, I think we've said all that we need to say on Jeff Hardy. Anything to add on the robot guy?
Not really. He just, one of those guys where it's like, well, if you can jump off this, then you don't need to say interesting things.
Yep. And you know what? That being said, I really like Jeff Hardy. I still like Jeff Hardy.
It's kind of like Shane McMahon.
Yep. Oh my! You just said the Shane McMahon word. Are you trying, Cole? If you don't want to be on the show,
that can be fired too.
We're not even allowed to talk about Shane McMahon.
Oh,
Shane McMahon is the sorest of subjects.
Once again, you didn't invite me to orientation day.
Please do not pull a Drew Ferris and never listen to any of these shows. Make sure you listen to the shows so that you get the references that I am making when I'm talking about the other shows.
Okay. I'll get on
Consider this your orientation.
This is orientation and the last warning.
Well, Cole, as we sort of talked about on last week's, we have till 5. See, I used the right, future tense and past tense situation. On last week's episode, we have till 5. You and I have sort of started a little bit more of a partnership here.
Yeah.
This is no longer just my list every single week. I need to have a little bit more time. So this week was my week. Next week's yours. Cole, what are we talking about?
Well, as many of you know, Saturday night was a big deal in the wrestling world because it was the official start of a brand new company in the business, which can hopefully do great things. So to commemorate this huge thing, we're going to be talking about the top 5 moments from AEW's Double or Nothing.
I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm excited. I have not seen the show yet. I'm going to find it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to have a good time doing that.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for AEW. I'm excited to see what it does for business. I'm excited to see what it does for the WWE. I'm fired up about what it means for wrestlers everywhere, for those options.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to talking about the show next week. Oh my goodness, what a marathon that felt like. I don't know. It's always tough doing these worst lists because I feel like once I'm done, I just feel like I've been so negative for so long that like I feel far more tired. Like when I'm talking about something that I'm passionate about, like, oh man, the top 5 best wrestlers or the best tag teams in the world or the best WrestleMania matches, I'm fired up. I'm like ready to rock. I'm like,
you get excited about it.
Wrestling is the best. It's the best. I love it. When I'm talking about this stuff, it's just like I feel.
This is why people think I'm weird for liking wrestling.
Feel kind of sad. After, like, I just sort of like, it's like I just talked bad about one of my best friends. And like, it doesn't mean that I don't love them, but it just means that they make me mad sometimes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to come up with like a tradition, something that we do after we'll like play a little game or something after we do the worst list so that we can get back on the positive train. Or, oh yeah, we'll
figure something out.
But
it'll
either
happen.
way, anything else to add? Any other bad promos you kind of wanted to highlight? Anything like that? I mean, people might be surprised that a guy like Chris Benoit didn't make this list. He was never really a great promo. I don't know. I don't think he spent enough time in the main event. No, that's not fair. I didn't hate his promos that much. I really didn't. He wasn't great on the mic, but I felt like he was exactly what he needed to be.
Yeah.
Anybody else that you kind of? It's okay. You don't just pull something out of your butt for no reason. But if there's something that's on your, I mean, Brock Lesnar, we already talked about him.
Yeah, he's the worst.
That's a great example. Roman Reigns, yeah. I don't know. That's about it.
Yeah. No, I can't think of anybody else right now, but I'm sure over the next hour I'll be like, oh, I hate them.
Well, whoever is screaming at their screens right now saying, like, how have you not mentioned this guy? Find us on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. Come to our website. Support us at Patreon. Do whatever you have to do to shout us out. Come on over to the Facebook. Give us a couple likes. We really appreciate you listening to the podcast today. Head on to patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca to put a couple ducats in the bucket to be a bigger part of this dream that we have going here at WrestleMedia. So, without further ado, when it comes to the 5 worst main event promos in wrestling history, we're breaking the hold.
This has been a presentation of WrestleMedia, where everything is wrestling and wrestling is everything. Here's what you're missing out on right now over at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca.
You've probably talked about this in the past, but what makes AEW different than TNA or ROH?
Money.
Okay.
Want more? Sign up now at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca.